So we go on to Ring of Honor. We've got Kevin Steen versus El Generico, 2012, in a ladder war match.
Oh, yeah.
Holy shit. And I know there was a match, I want to say it was Michael Elgin and Adam Cole. However, I know Michael Elgin was in the match. But once again, I tried to look things up. But anyways, it'll be somewhere.
Yeah.
Anyways, I say anyways too much.
Yeah.
So, right now, obviously you get Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn who are teaming up again, which is awesome. But back then, it's, you know, one of the best matches that you can have is a ladder war match. It's basically tables, ladders, and chairs.
It's a ladder match. It's a next level ladder match. Put it that way. Yeah, I didn't see the match, but I saw highlights of the match, and it's like, my God, the things they put themselves through and did to each other is like, fuck.
Yes, yeah, no. And I didn't see a lot of El Generico matches.
Yeah.
But this match was fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
The fact is, Kevin Steen, and you know what? Kevin Steen needs more credit for what he's done in Ring of Honor. I don't think he does, especially when he was in Scum.
Yes.
But the match, you know, was awesome, and there was a lot of blood, especially on Kevin. And then, of course, you got Jimmy Jacobs coming out and assisting Kevin to win the match, and just what an awesome match. And there's been several others that I'm trying to think about. I can't believe I'm drawing a blank here. But a lot of great, you know, matches between these two.
Yeah.
This one being the best.
Mm.
Obviously, they were friends. They were the tag champions.
Yes.
And Kevin Steen turned on El Generico. And so this match was pretty cool. And this was right around the time when I started watching Ring of Honor, like the full show, like the full, because on the Fight Network, they used to have the best of Ring of Honor, and I would watch that and think, well, shit, I gotta find this show. So, anyways, I happened to accidentally come upon it, and I was a fan ever since.
Yeah.
But, this match definitely was really cool.
Yeah. Definitely, physical match, a awe-inspiring match, and just a match where you go, when this thing is all over, they're gonna be needing a nice bath or something. Hot shower, just brutal.
That was fucking amazing. There's no, like, yeah. But, anyways, yeah, so, I mean, there was that. Again, I'm drawing a blank. I think the only other thing I could think of was his last match with Steve Corino before heading to NXT.
Probably, yeah.
So, anyways.
Yeah. Well, my next match, I don't really even feel like I should talk about it because it was already covered. WrestleMania 3, Ricky Steamboat, Randy Savage.
Oops.
Hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, it was like we talked about. Really good match. You know, there's like 22 near falls before Ricky ended up winning the title, and just, you know, George with Ricky, and they're all happy and whatever. But even you look at the match and just you talk about Triple H and The Undertaker having really good ring psychology. Ricky Steamboat and Randy Savage again are two guys were amazing ring psychologists.
And you know, Randy Savage was one of those guys that can be heel and face, and it's just, you know, awesome to see that. But we could have put Ricky Steamboat and I don't know if we did or not, underrated wrestlers that could have been WWF champion.
Yeah, I don't think we did, but for sure. Maybe not necessarily underrated per se, but definitely a wrestler that very well could have easily held the WWE Championship. I mean, he held the NWA Championship.
Yeah.
4 times, I believe. 3, 4 times, somewhere in there.
He was United States champion.
Right. He was also a tag champion as well.
So we get to TNA. We have American Wolves versus the Hardy Boys versus Team 3D in Full Metal Mayhem 2015. It was either 2015 or 2014. I think it was 2015. I'm not sure.
Oh, I think so, yeah.
So, you know, you got the best tag teams in TNA. Well, got the Hardy Boys reunite, and they're obviously the WWF guys. You've got the Dudley Boys, or Team 3D from ECW/WWE.
Yeah.
And then, of course, American Wolves from Ring of Honor. And, of course, they're botched, or they're idiotic NXT men. Anyways.
Yeah.
So, the fact of the matter is, there was one interview that I really enjoyed with the three of them, and they, of course, you had the Dudley Boys reminisce with, of course, the Hardys, and saying, you know, they wrestled in Anaheim. Of course, they talk about WrestleMania 17.
Yes.
Wrestled in Toronto. I think they mentioned Toronto. I can't remember. But anyways, this was a good match.
Yes.
You know, and the Wolves obviously retained. And,
yeah, this was a triple threat Full Metal Mayhem match for the TNA tag titles.
yes. And, very good match, you know, and it's one of those things where you wish it could last forever, but of course, it doesn't. The Dudley Boy, Team 3D, whatever, they broke up. Bully Ray can't wrestle no more, as far as I know. And then, of course, you get Matt and Jeff back in WWE. Davey Richards, actually, I'm not even sure where he is now. He came back and...
Well, him and Eddie were feuding for a little while.
Yeah.
Angelina Love came back, and, you know, Davey, and of course, Davey and Angelina are married, and, you know, what have you. So they kind of run with that storyline. And, of course, you know, you got Davey being injured, and Eddie going on and winning the TNA World Title, and then, you know, Davey being jealous of Eddie, and, you know, questioning Eddie, where was he during Davey's recovery and rehabilitation and shit like that. And then it seemed like over the last, I'll say, 7 months or so, both of them hit the bricks.
Yeah, that's a shame.
Hit the road, Jack, don't come back.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's weird though, because you got Davey and Angelina, I guess, leaving the company or whatever, and then you have Eddie go on and become the GHC heavyweight champion with Pro Wrestling Noah.
Yeah, so that's right too.
So,
and they also did a couple Smash shows in Toronto.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, this was a really good match. They, you know, like I said, I like to try to find it so I can watch it again. Cause, yeah, it was a really good match.
And I believe there was a spot in that match where it was like Team 3D or the Hardys or one of the Hardys, one of the members of Team 3D, whatever it was, took Davey Richards and kind of power bombed him over the top rope, and he landed on, I think it was a ladder.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was like, ooh, he's gonna feel that one later.
Oh yeah. Always great risks with those guys.
Oh yeah.
The Hardy Boys are like, I'm surprised they're not made of pillow or cotton.
Their bones are brittle and stuff like that. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So my next match, oh yes, a phenomenal match, another WrestleMania match. It could be up there with probably the best stipulation matches of all time, or yeah, top 10 stipulation matches anyways. WrestleMania 10. Razor Ramon and Shawn Michaels in a ladder match. That match was top level ring psychology. Two guys that could go in there and hang with each other and not be afraid to put it all out there, put it all on the line, and just have an amazing, amazing match.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, back then, and you're probably gonna, I don't know, hate me for this, I don't know, but yeah, when I was a kid, and I first saw that, I really didn't, I wasn't really interested. Yeah, I didn't keep my attention span very well. Obviously, years later, I watched it again, and it was better, and obviously it is one of the greatest matches of all time.
Yeah.
And that's kind of unfortunate, only because the WWE says it was the first ladder match
At WrestleMania.
at a WrestleMania. And for some reason, Bret Hart seems to think that they mean it was the best ladder match of all time, or the first ladder match. And that's not true.
No, it's not.
You've got Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, 1992. I can't remember the name of the thing it was on, but it was on Cobb's Coliseum, anyways. Right. It was awesome,
Yeah.
But he, obviously Bret's gonna be Bret, and he's gonna say a lot of shit, and whatever. He says they think it's the first match. Obviously not. I don't know where he gets that from.
I don't know either.
But yeah, so I mean, Scott Hall, and I do remember the Raw before WrestleMania of Shawn Michaels giving the Razor's Edge to Razor Ramon. I think it was at least 5 or 6 times in the ramp. So that was interesting.
Yeah.
But to think, you've got Shawn Michaels, who's average height, maybe. Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, who towers over 6 feet.
Yeah.
And just the match that they had was very cool. Shawn Michaels being the high flyer. You got Razor Ramon that is the brawler. He can jump off the top rope, sure.
Yeah.
But, pretty damn good match. It almost seems like, people who are best buddies always tend to be better rivals and have good matches.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you look at Owen Hart and Bret Hart having opened WrestleMania 10, and they had a really good match in itself.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, this is definitely, one of the best matches of all time. I mean, it's still not one of my favorites, but it's not for the reasons you think. It's just, I've seen better ladder matches. But anyways, we have Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, WrestleMania 17. And I only picked this one because it is the better of the trilogy.
Right.
You have Steve Austin and The Rock, who feuded for the Intercontinental title Then WrestleMania 15 hit. They wrestled for the WWF title.
Yes.
It was a good feud in itself. Obviously, it was very memorable for me. You get WrestleMania 17. And, not only was this a good match, this was another one where you did not expect Stone Cold Steve Austin to turn heel.
Right.
You have a match like I want to say 11 years earlier. I'm probably wrong. Hulk Hogan and Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah.
And it's like those two guys with faces going in and faces coming out.
Yes.
And it's just how it was.
Right.
So I thought, I guess, that it was going to be the same thing. You got one fan favorite guy versus the other favorite guy.
Yeah.
I was a huge, and probably still am, a huge Stone Cold Steve Austin fan, as I had mentioned before. So, these guys had another good match, and of course, getting Vince McMahon himself coming out to the ring, and he had no idea why he was there.
Yeah.
He ended up helping Stone Cold out, which you kind of thought that something was cooking. But, pardon the pun.
Yeah.
But, obviously, at the end of the match, you've got the two shake hands, and there you go. Steve Austin all bloodied, flipping off the fans with the belt. Just fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And interesting, the next day going to school and having one of my friends not speak to me for months because he was destroyed, because he was also an Austin fan, but he was destroyed that he would join Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
So, that's just the way it was,
Yeah.
We're kids. But it was pretty fucking cool, This match was good. And, of course, WrestleMania 19, The Rock finally beat Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yes.
That Whisker Biscuit candy ass. And, yeah. So, one of the best feuds of all time, obviously.
Yeah, for sure. This next match is... Well, it's it's a match where you had two guys that pretty much legitimately did not like each other, not only in the ring, but outside of the ring, and had several really good matches together, but it had to come to a culmination somewhere at some point, and with a really good match. There's Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels in an Iron Man match.
And it's another, it's like, it got the obnoxious guy who, the story is, it's a 12-year-old boy's dream to be the WWF champion. It got Bret Hart, who's obviously one of the best technicians. And, of course, they go into it, shaking hands and all this other stuff. And then it just turns raw from there.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's like, the two biggest egos in the WWF, I'm sure. And this match was really good, and I never really gave it the credit it deserved, because once again, my attention span. But there was really no pinfall. Like, there was really no, like in Iron matches, there's really not, there's always as many pinfalls.
Right, yeah.
This match didn't have that, unfortunately.
No.
So, Bret Hart slaps the sharpshooter on Shawn Michaels, and time runs out. So he thinks he wins. He he goes, he leaves with the belt, and turns around because Howard Finkel, oh, you gotta come back. We're gonna do sudden death.
Yeah.
There's gotta be a winner. So of course Shawn Michaels wins.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just Shawn Michaels being the younger guy too is gonna have, I'm sure, a lot more energy. And I don't know where I got it from, but holy shit. The super kick, and then of course pinning him for the 3 count.
Yeah.
There it is. And, you know, at the time, being a Bret Hart fan, I was pissed off, but that is what it is.
Yeah.
We go to Japan, New Japan of last year. Kenny Omega versus Unbreakable Michael Elgin. This closed out the G1 series, I think. Whatever, I can't remember. These guys, like I am a huge Michael Elgin fan. Kenny Omega, yeah, whatever. 2 good Canadians in the match. You got Michael Elgin from Ontario. You got Kenny Omega from Manitoba. And these 2 guys, like Kenny Omega being from the Bullet Club, and there was a lot of speculation late last year thinking, oh, Kenny Omega is gonna go to WWE. But she confirmed that it wasn't true. But yeah, you know, this was a good match. And of course, the Cleaner is one of those guys who is very, like, he is a cocky son of a bitch. And then you get the brick shit powerhouse of Michael Elgin. And I believe, unfortunately, it was Kenny Omega that beat Michael Elgin, despite everything that was thrown at him. But this was a good match. And, well, I hope that they continue to have that. I can't wait for next year's G1 series.
Yeah, for sure. Talk about, again, 2 guys that are good ring technicians, and 2 guys that could go into a ring and have a phenomenal match and just really have fans captivated by what they do in the ring. And to have a guy go over that really deserved to go over and really deserved what he got from the match is why I feel it's one of my favorite matches. We're going here to WrestleMania 20, I believe it was, or 21. Anyways, it was for the World Heavyweight Championship with Triple H and Chris Benoit.
And Shawn Michaels.
No. Just Triple H and Chris Benoit.
They didn't have a one-on-one match at WrestleMania.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
I'm sure they did.
You're probably thinking about Backlash.
At the end of it, you had Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero in the ring hugging each other.
It did, yes, but
Too
Shawn
bad.
Michaels was in the match.
But I'm talking about just a one-on-one match with
Oh, okay, yes.
Chris Benoit and Triple H.
You're right.
For the world title.
Okay, you're right. You're right.
Nah, yeah.
The tap out.
Yes.
Okay, you're right. Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that was a really, really good match.
And you know, it's unfortunate the way circumstances happened, obviously. You're never going to hear the end of that. And you'll probably never find that match anywhere. Except maybe a DVD or whatever.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's sad because Chris Benoit was one of the best technicians besides Bret Hart. And not being the biggest guy in the WWF or WCW or ECW. This guy, just amazing wrestler, and it's unfortunate the way things turned out. He could have had potential. He could have.
Oh yeah.
He could have been the WWF champion.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
WWE champion.
Yeah.
If he didn't fuck it up.
Yeah.
So. And you're right. It was a good match. Just seeing Triple H tap out to the cripple crossface.
Yeah.
Just fucking awesome.
One thing I remember about that match was, I believe it was Jerry Lawler and Jim Ross calling the match, and when Benoit put the crossface on Triple H, you hear Jim Ross go, "It's all on the line, can the game hold on?"
Yeah.
Really good call on Jim Ross's part for that.
I'll get another match where they all pretty much were bloody, and
Triple H was pretty bloody. I don't remember Benoit being bloody, though. He might have been.
Well, the fact of the matter is, you thought that Triple H was going to pass out.
Yeah, really.
Yeah. Okay, so my last match, and I said in the top of the show that the women really are having great matches. Like I said, the hardcore matches, steel cage matches. This match probably started it all. I don't remember anything prior to that. Survivor Series 2002, Trish Stratus versus Victoria in a hardcore match for the Women's Championship. And, just Trish Stratus doing the bulldog thing
Yes.
on the table, and Victoria ended up, I don't know what her finishing move was.
Widow's Peak.
Well, yeah, okay, you're doing Widow's Peak. Trish Stratus losing, I think she smacked her head on the turnbuckle that wasn't padded. But anyways, yeah, Victoria winning the Women's Championship. Of course, being a fan of Trish Stratus, I was disappointed, but this was a really good match, and this match really proved that the women could do it. And I think Trish Stratus is the first woman, along with Lita, to main event a Raw.
Yes.
So there's that, and I think that Trish Stratus is a pioneer for all those other women that came after.
Yes.
Like AJ and Maurice and all those other women that can put it off, like fucking Sasha Banks and Bailey.
Yes.
And Charlotte and all those guys.
Right.
Even Alexa Bliss, if you don't want to believe that, but there it is.
Yeah.
So
the matches like those really go to show you how far women's wrestling has evolved.
yeah,
Because early on, you had women wrestlers and women's matches where they were technical, they were sometimes aggressive, but they never really went to the limit of using weapons. Steel chairs, tables, candlesticks,
yeah.
garbage cans, etc., etc.
Oh yeah, there was a garbage can. That was awesome.
And as time has gone on, you've started to see women's hardcore matches. I think there was no disqualification matches. And just broadening the spectrum for women wrestlers. Wrestling matches they can go into a match and go like, okay, we're gonna have Sasha Banks against Bailey. Most falls in the match wins, and give them a time limit. say who's gonna win, and then just have them have at it and see what happens, and just really cool to see.
Yeah.
My last one is a match that really made Hell in a Cell different. It really pushed the boundaries, you could say, of what you could do inside Hell in a Cell, and just the overall competitors in the match were very different with as far as in-ring styles went, but they pulled off one hell of a match. I believe it was probably Armageddon, I want to say, but it was a 5-way Hell in a Cell match.
Yes.
It was Rikishi, The Undertaker, Rock, I believe Austin, and Kurt Angle, maybe? And
Yes, it was Kurt Angle.
just having these 5 guys inside Hell in a Cell and just essentially beat the crap out of each other. And you got Rock and Austin, of course, fighting outside of the cage, outside of the ring, and then you got Rikishi and Undertaker on top of the cell, and they're fighting each other, and then Undertaker kind of like chokeslams Rikishi into the back of a farm truck, I guess you could call it. And just what they did with that match, spectacular. And especially for a guy like Rikishi,
Oh, yeah.
who probably maybe hadn't been, I don't think he had been in a steel cage match before. And, have him take that bump off the top of it, it's like, and being 400 pounds, it really goes to show you kind of what he was willing to do, and essentially trusting Undertaker to go, okay, we're going to go on top of the cell, we're going to fight for a little bit, and then we're going to make our way over to one side of the cage. There's going to be a truck underneath the cage, at the bottom on the ground, and I'm going to push you off, and you're going to land in the back of it with all this hay, I think it was.
Yes.
Just was like...
And I think they needed that hay because it would have been, death.
Oh, it would have either fucking killed Rikishi or broke every bone in his body or something, but yeah.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see. Not only can they have rivalries, culminate and essentially inside Hell in a Cell, but just have more than one person in a Hell in a Cell match and what they could do with the Hell in a Cell, on it, outside of it, around it, whatever. Just really, really cool.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll always enjoy that, till somebody fucked it up and showed everybody that they played
Yeah.
during the match. Anyways,
Yeah.
so those were our top 10 most favorite matches. Of course, I don't know about you, but there were some runner-up matches that I thought about. Obviously, well, I'll just pick a few. I'll say, first and foremost, Sergeant Slaughter versus Pat Patterson. In a hardcore match.
Yeah.
Or false count. Well, no. It was a ladder match. The first match that I can think of that was, no rules. No holds barred. And there was no referee. And it was really pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just to see them be, back now, his team compared to back then. I mean, those people, they just fucking used everything.
Brutalized each other.
Yes. What about you? Are you anyone who's up? Like, I'll just tell you a few of mine first, and then... So, I mean, there's not much. Like, I thought about Sienna versus Rosemary. It's a hardcore match.
Yeah.
There's Roddy Piper versus Greg Valentine dog collar match.
Yes.
Stargate 83. And I think the last match that I can think about right now is... Oh, hell, I'm gonna go with British Bulldog and Bret the Hitman Hart for the Intercontinental title, Wembley Stadium.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I'm hoping one day they bring back a Big Four pay-per-view and overseas.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. I mean... Yeah. Well, that Wembley Stadium match was really good. You could probably even go like Harley Race and Ric Flair in the steel cage for the NWA Championship. Starrcade 88?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Could go... Kane and The Undertaker in an Inferno match.
Oh, yeah.
You could go Undertaker, Mankind, Buried Alive. You could go, maybe not a favorite match, but definitely probably go best moment, Brock Lesnar and Big Show from SmackDown when they broke the ring.
Yes.
Or Big Show, Mark Henry, or...
You want a really good Iron Man match? Kurt Angle versus Brock Lesnar at SmackDown 2003. That was a fucking good show.
Yeah. Probably even go... getting into Survivor Series this year, and you know, you got Team Raw versus Team SmackDown, and you got Kurt Angle and Shane McMahon gonna captain their teams. You can go Shane McMahon and Kurt Angle, King of the Ring 99? 98?
King of the Ring. No. King of the Ring, it was 2001.
Oh, 2001, right.
That match was, like, cringing.
Yeah.
Like, I honestly thought Shane broke all of his bones. And it was one big pillow.
Oh.
It was crazy.
I mean, you got Kurt Angle go to belly, suplex Shane through the King of the Ring sign or whatever, and he hits the damn thing, and he, instead of going through it, he just hits it and then fucking lands on his head on the stage, and it's like, ooh, shit, that didn't look right.
You want me to go modern? I'm trying to think of good matches, and I know that there's a lot from the past few years now, but Undertaker versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania last year was pretty cool in Hell in a Cell.
Yeah.
I think, you know, Shane McMahon's a crazy bastard. You know,
Pretty much.
and that guy, like, yeah, it's good.
No. Undertaker and Shane was WrestleMania Dallas. WrestleMania last year was Shane and AJ.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So...
Still really good matches,
Yeah.
both of them.
For sure. Any Hell in a Cell match with Undertaker, really.
True.
And, I think the last match I'll say is a match that was pointed out by RL Cal in Aftermath a few years ago when he did, Kyle Edwards for you people.
Yeah.
This guy is always. It's a match I don't even remember. It was Terry Funk versus Jerry Lawler in an empty arena. Well, it was outside. And
No, it was an empty arena match.
Oh,
It was from Memphis Wrestling. It was like 1985, 80, somewhere in there. And they essentially had a match in a arena with no fans, and it was just them in a ring with a camera crew or one cameraman or whatever, and the voice of Memphis Wrestling himself, Lance Russell, calling it. It wasn't a very, like, it wasn't long and drawn out, but it was physical and kind of brutal and just one of those things where you go, okay, these two guys legitimately don't like each other, and if this is the way it's gotta be, this is the way it's gotta be. I mean, fuck, you want to talk about empty arena matches? Okay, you could go that one. You could go
Mankind and The Rock.
Yeah. You could go Kurt Angle versus Sting.
John Cena versus Eddie Guerrero.
Yeah?
Well, that was a parking lot match, but whatever.
Parking lot match, but still.
But the fact is, Terry Funk was one of those guys that can make you feel sorry for him.
Oh, yeah.
My eye! And he didn't even do anything.
Lance, call the doctor. My eye.
It's crazy. One match that we have to mention is the Lion's Den match. We've got Dan the Beast Severn versus Ken Shamrock.
Yeah.
Yes. There's also Dan the Beast Severn versus Owen Hart. But yeah, you know, this is a time where early on, MMA being introduced to professional wrestling.
Yes.
And, you know, two really great sports that I enjoy. And it's like, well, I mean, back then I wasn't allowed to watch MMA, but a very good match, you know, and I just think that those two really had good chemistry, obviously, being in an MMA world.
Yeah.
But even Owen Hart, you know.
And even when you look at it, too, the way it was built, so to speak, you had, like, a circular ring with a cage, but the sides of the cage were sloped. And then you got, like, a walking platform on the top of it, essentially for the referee to hang out. And I think the only way you could win the match was leaving the cage or something. But anyways, yeah.
Yeah, that was a good match indeed. You know, and I wish they had more of those. Obviously not because of the MMA world, but, you know, we got Bobby Lashley, who's in there now with, what's his face? Stephen Bonner.
Yeah.
So you never know.
And even, just throw one more in there.
Yeah.
For talking about Ken Shamrock matches, talk about the Lions, then you can even talk about, what do they call that? They're surrounded by cars. A circle of death or something like that. One of the matches was Ken Shamrock and Steve Blackman.
Yeah, I can't honestly remember.
Yeah. But,
which is odd.
Anyway.
So, anyways, this has been a great episode. I think I'm going to cut it into 2 parts.
That'd probably be a good idea.
Shit. But anyways, yeah, so that was it. I almost think about us top 10 least favorite matches, but I'll have to think about that.
Yeah.
Anyways, for this episode of Wheels of Fury, I'm me, Matt, Killer Kyle, and we will see you later.
Yep.